Hey, chosen ones. I'm Angelique, also known as The Light. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, like, share, comment below your experience as a chosen one dealing with romantic relationships. I've done a live about this before in the past, maybe a couple of months ago, but I don't think I've done a regular video about it. If so, I don't remember. But this is something that I've been thinking about strongly because I keep hearing, people book with me to talk to me about their chosen one path. And I look at other videos, maybe on TikTok. You can follow me on TikTok, Metaphysical Goddess number 7. That is my only account at 45K. All right. Follow me on there. But it's something that I noticed that a lot of chosen ones, they just don't get it. And sometimes I wish I could just bang it in y'all head that the chosen one, you're not here on the planet to date or get married. Now, some chosen ones will get married and have children, and some of your children will be chosen ones as well, or one of your children will take the torch after you leave and do the work that needs to be done on the planet or in your bloodline, right? But the reason why it's so difficult for a chosen one to find love is because they're not a normal human being. It's not that you're better than anybody, but you are not going to fall in love like everybody else around you. Your connections have to be divine. And this is something that I had to analyze for a long time and accept. And even from when I was a teen, I never ended up in relationships the same way as my peers, right? And it was strange to me. And I thought, maybe because I'm overweight or maybe because I'm ugly or something like that. I was thinking physical. Or something like that as a teen. When I started to date or, like boys around, 13, 14, when you start getting serious about the opposite sex or for some of you, the same sex. I just didn't understand how come the way things were happening to my friends, it wasn't happening for me in that way. And it's crazy because when I talk to people I grew up with, you know, boys that I had alike, they said that they always battled. There was always something telling them not to date me. And I'm like, wait, what? And to me, that's the divine protection that the chosen one has on them. And I had to question one of these guys. He said, I always wanted to be with you, but there was always this voice telling me to leave you alone. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was always his voice that told me to leave you alone. And that was very creepy to hear somebody say that to me. And, there were other boys, other men that told me, like, I don't know, like, I wanted to commit to you. I wanted to be with you, but there was always something telling me, like, leave her alone and, you know, um, don't don't waste her time or just these things. So you have to understand that chosen ones can't just be with anybody. And I've watched friends over the years of how they end up in these relationships. And when I think about it, a lot of the friends that I had, they're not in divine connections. The reason why the chosen one can't just jump up so easily and, get courted or date and end up getting married is because God is only going to allow a divine connection. And that is why a lot of you who didn't listen, you married the wrong person, you didn't marry another chosen one or a spiritual one. You suffered. A lot of you had, a lot of you got married to your spiritual assignments. You got married to broken people. You got married to narcissists, and it backfired on you because you didn't listen to God. And even in my 20s, I'm 40 now, but even in my 20s, I didn't listen to God, and I ended up in an abusive relationship for about 5 years with a narcissist. But I thank God that I never got pregnant by that individual. And chosen ones have to understand it ain't gonna connect like that. You're only gonna get an okay when it's when it's a chosen one, or when it's a divine connection. Your relationship has to be not perfect, but it has to align with who you are. It has to be to that point where God is showing his love through your marriage. Your other friends and family, they don't have to live up to this title. They don't have to live up to this position. So when a chosen one gets into a relationship, you know, I really don't feel God is looking at boyfriend girlfriend type of relationships. When I'm talking about like marriage, you are a testimony. You can't just marry, because when you get married to somebody, it's a spiritual contract that you have with this person. Not when you got a boyfriend girlfriend, not when you're just dating. But if you are a chosen one who wants marriage, you have to understand the level of that marriage that it needs to be. You can't just have a regular guy, a regular girl, and a lot of times y'all running after regular people. You don't have to marry or date another chosen one, but these people have to be on board. And a lot of people, a lot of the men and women you have crushes on, a lot of the men and women you crying and snot rolling out your nose, and you crying over these people, they're not on your level, chosen one. You're like, oh, they're so good looking, or they got that vibe, I want them. But God is like, spiritually, they're not your vibe. They're not going to understand your position. You can't just be with just anybody. And that's why I'm not saying that singleness is better for chosen ones, but I understand why. Another reason why a lot of chosen ones end up being single is because you see too much. You know too much. Too much is happening to you. You have to understand that if somebody's going to date you or marry you, chosen one, and they see how society is treating you, they see how your family is treating you, a lot of people can't handle that. They see how other men and women are treating you. They see how your friends are treating you. A lot of regular human beings are not going to be able to handle that type of drama. They're not going to be able to handle that level of pain. It's not easy. One of my favorite chosen ones was Malcolm X. And, before he had passed away, and his wife was begging him to leave, the Nation of Islam. And if you watch it in the Malcolm X movie that Spike Lee, created, you can see how that pain is portrayed, where she's like, I need you to see the truth. They're against you. We're poor. We have no clothes. We can't even pay our mortgage. We own nothing, so you have to understand you need a powerful mate who is your spiritual eye. So if you are chosen one man, you need a powerful woman. You need a powerful mate who are your spiritual eyes. They got to be able to see in the spirit realm. They got to see behind your back. That is major. A lot of people do not have partners like that. And I've watched through the years, how basic my friends' lovers and baby daddies and baby mamas are. They're basic. They're basic. They're nowhere on the level of spirituality and power that I am or you are. Absolutely not. There's people who want to date you, but they're not spiritually equipped to date you, chosen one. And you're like, oh, they're so perfect, I want them. And God is looking at you like, you gotta be kidding me. You're being spiritually protected. You're being saved for the right partner. This is why you get ghosted so fast. They don't feel like they're on your level. They see your light. They can look in your eyes and see who you are. They see how people react to you. They can't handle that. That's too much for them. And it's painful. It is painful. And time again, you see them getting married, having children, moving on with the most basic partner. And you're like, yo, what's up with that? That's what's up. They weren't equipped to be with you. Let them go be with basic human beings. Let them go be with people who are spiritually beneath you. That's what they want. That's what their ego feels good around. Two chosen ones together in a relationship, they have to show a certain level of strength. They have to show a certain level of power. They literally have to show God's love. They have to take a lot of crap. All right. So if you are a chosen one and you're in a relationship right now, I need you to protect that relationship the best way that you can. Chosen ones' relationships are under attack. Are under attack like nobody's business. I should have known years ago. I couldn't understand it. I was like, I'm just a regular girl. How come every guy I date, there's some enemy, there's some ex, there's some family member, there's some person I didn't even know was watching me, trying to break me up with a guy. People didn't believe me. Thank God screenshots came out. Thank God social media came out. There are people who are doing spell work, burning candles, watching your social media chosen one, trying to take the photo of your partner, trying to wish bad luck on your relationships. There's some friends, hey girl, you with somebody right now, you dating? Oh, don't worry, you'll find someone. Then they get the phone, I wish she never get married. I wish he never get married. There's people who's trying to destiny swap with the chosen one. The chosen one's supposed to get married. A friend or a sibling or a family member or even a stranger is trying to destiny swap with you and they want to get married. It's very scary to be a chosen one and trying to love. And forget it. Chosen ones, you're not supposed to be out there having, casual sex with multiple people and all. You can't move like everybody else. I'm telling you, I have for years watched people who were not chosen, I'm talking about, be the biggest whores and they still got married. That doesn't happen to chosen ones like that. No. We cannot move like everybody else. And I'm going, wait a minute, what's going on? How did this girl get the nicest guy and she was so promiscuous? How she is cheating and she still gets the greatest guy? Chosen ones cannot move like this. We will suffer. When we want to be promiscuous, we learn lessons from it. When we want to be with a person who's low vibrational, we immediately get dissed. We get played. We really do suffer. We learn. We get ghosted. We get easily protected. They don't. I see it. Regular people, they get to do all the darkness on the planet, but chosen ones, you're not here for that. So don't play yourself. Trust me. And God will sometimes let you play yourself, chosen one, because you need to learn who you are. God goes, all right, go ahead. You want to deal with that sneaky link? You want to deal with that bad boy or that bad girl, that Jezebel spirit? Go right ahead. And you get your feelings hurt and you get played. And then you got to come back to the throne of God and be like, all right, I get it now. So chosen ones sometimes will be abstinent, will be celibate. You might die a virgin. You may never get married because you did not come to the planet to be focused on romantic love. You didn't come to the planet to focus on sex. You're here to work for God. Y'all favorite boy, Jesus, that y'all love that Bible. What, did he have sneaky links all through the Bible? No. I don't even think there's one passage that said that Jesus had sex. I understand that would have been creepy because he's supposed to be like a brother, the son of God, to everybody on the planet. I believe it said he had desires, but he never acted on those desires. That was an image of how chosen ones, some of us, are going to be. Some of you will never experience sex. Some of you will never experience marriage. And I know it sounds horrible. And, I seen some chosen one. I rebuke that. That ain't gonna be me. I'm getting married. I'm having kids. Okay, I hope that is in your soul contract. But not every chosen one will get married and have children. And that's okay, because you're not here for that. You're here to do your spiritual assignments and get out of here. That's what you're here for. It is unfortunate because on the planet, they make it seem like romantic love is like the highest form of love. Everything is based on romance and sex, especially here in America where I'm at. People think you're weird if you're a virgin. People think you're weird if, you don't have a sneaky link. People think you're weird, you don't have a roster. Don't fall for that BS. You have work to do. There's other things in life to enjoy other than chasing behind some peen and some vag. I'm telling you. The weirdest things happen to chosen ones. I couldn't believe it. I remember years ago, I think I might have been about 25, 26 at the time. And I started dating this guy. And this is around when, I'm not on Facebook. I left Facebook in 2020. But I had a Facebook account at the time. And I made the hugest mistake, right, of linking my boyfriend at the time to my Facebook where it says in a relationship with so-and-so. I had my boyfriend at the time, I had his password to his account. And something just one day, my spirit, always listen to your spirit, chosen one. Something said, go sign into his account. And I was in my head like, okay, is he cheating on me? Why do I have this urge to sign into his Facebook account? And when I went onto the Facebook account, I was in total shock. There were about 3 men that I had dated sent him a friend request, and they inboxed him saying, hello, can I ask you some questions about Angie? At the time, I went by Angie. And I was like, oh my gosh. He didn't even read the messages. I saw the messages first. Then there was a 4th guy this guy was married. I had found out that I was, talking to this guy, and I found out he was married, and I cut him off. My boyfriend at the time, actually accepted his friend request. And then the guy, he's a married man. What are you doing sending my boyfriend a friend request and you're freaking married? People are sick, chosen ones. They're obsessed with the chosen one. I was like about to have a panic attack, and he wrote on his page, thank you for accepting my friend request. And I went onto my account, comment underneath there, and I said, how do you know my boyfriend, Dre? How do you know my boyfriend, Dre? He removed himself from my boyfriend's account so fast. I couldn't believe it. Another person was my best friend at the time, his father. I said, what the hell? Why would his father be sending my boyfriend a friend request to look on his account? Strange. And then there were 3 girls who I cut off. One of the girls slept with my first love. We were friends, and she went behind my back and slept with my first love. She's sending my man a friend request. So this means that these people, none of these people were friends on my Facebook account, but they still do time, even though they did me dirty or whatever the case. The only person who didn't do anything to me was at the time was my best friend's father. But I found out later on my best friend's father had a crush on me. Creepy, right? And that's why he was trying to look onto my ex's account. This was strange. This was a big wake-up call for me. This was huge. I said, no, this is not normal. This doesn't happen. I asked my friends, has this ever happened to you? No. Has this ever happened to you? No. None of these occurrences have ever happened to any of my friends. No one's stalking them on this type of level. Chosen ones, you're being stalked all the time. You're being watched. If you have social media, you better not be posting anything. Don't be posting your location, who you're in a relationship, none of that. Unless you have some type of business where God has you covered and your relationship, your marriage is a part of your ministry. And even then, y'all two better be locked in, because there's going to be people, constant spiritual warfare on the chosen one's relationship. I was about 25, 26 when that happened. And after that, I never put another man ever that I dated on social media. Never. And I said to myself, the next time I ever put a man on social media would be my husband, because by then he will know I'm a chosen one. He will know that we're locked in. It's insane. But like I was saying, there was 3 girls that I had cut off as friends. So these people were sick. They had been spying on me all these years. All these years just spying on me. They were not a friend on my Facebook. I don't know if I think I had my account was private or something like that. So they couldn't see. All they can see was in the profile of me and my ex linked, my man at the time were linked to each other. You're being watched all the time. And I have no idea what those men were going to say to my man. They could have made up something. They could have said, oh, she's sleeping with me, she's cheating with me, and, what are you doing? Years later, one of the guys that had an inbox him, I confronted him about it. I actually got back in touch with him. And I said, let me ask you something. Why did you send a message to my man? And you know what he said? I wanted to have a conversation with my competition. I said, he was never your competition. You had me and you didn't want me. Why would you do that? I just told you he was my competition. So even when these people have done you dirty, chosen one, they are watching. I've had ex-lovers who were married, living in other countries, watching me. Be careful, chosen one. You're being watched. And when they find out you're in a relationship, that best friend that you think that you're so close to, she's wishing you don't get married. She's praying, she's lighting her candle that you don't get married. She's hoping that you never become a mother or become a father. That homeboy that you think you so close to, he'll try to go behind your back and sleep with your woman. This is the stupid things that happen with chosen ones. And I watch other people, and it just didn't happen to them. Every guy I liked, this has been going on since I was a child. I remember liking a guy when I was 13 and friends running after him. I remember dating a guy, and right after we break up, all these friends of mine are like trying to date him next. This is the things that happen to chosen ones. It's not normal. It's almost like you're a spiritual celebrity, you know? It's very sickening. Do not take your romantic relationships lightly. People don't want the chosen one to be in love. They don't want the chosen one to get the happily ever after. They try to destiny swap with you. Even your ex-lovers. I will never understand it. The ones that didn't choose you, because you know why they don't want you to end up with someone that even when he didn't choose you, or even when she didn't choose you, because they didn't choose you because you weren't enough. They didn't choose you because you made them feel like they weren't enough. They were so intimidated by your light. That's why they went to go choose that easier partner. I ended up dating, this is back in maybe 2013-ish, around that time, 2013, 2014, around 2013-ish. I dated a family friend, and, I was a Christian at the time, so, it wasn't an intimate relationship, but we were dating, and it was getting serious. Well, I thought it was. And I said, his family started saying, "Oh, y'all gonna get married? Y'all are getting really serious. We want to know what is going on. Like, this guy, my son seems like he's really into you. My nephew seems like he's into you. What's going on?" So I asked him, I said, "Yeah, what is going on? What are we gonna do? Because we're grown. I'm not gonna like date you for years." And I think at the time we might have been dating between 6 to 9 months at this time. And I said, "I've known you my whole life. You know my family. I know your family. At this point in our life, it's either going to be marriage or we're going to just be friends." And he chose another woman over me. And I totally accepted it. Didn't chase him. I even went to their wedding. And I remember my grandmother passed away in 2015. And I'll never forget this. This is very strange. Keep in mind, this man chose another woman over me. And I totally accepted it. And the reason he gave me was that because she was a mother and I'm not a mother, and he is a dad, he said he felt that she would be a better fit for him. Okay, whatever. Didn't argue with it. Accepted his reasoning. So while I was at my grandmother's funeral, his aunt was there, he was there, and his aunt turned to me at the funeral and said, we were actually at my grandmother's burial. We did the funeral and burial in the same day. So we were at the cemetery, we were at the burial, and, we already put my grandmother's body in a mausoleum, the wall. And she turned to me and said, "I think your husband is on the way now. You've done the work. You've done the spiritual work, You buried your mom, you buried your dad, you buried your grandmother. Like, I think it's time, and I think that your husband is on the way." And he happened to be standing behind her. And I looked at him and he went, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? I was blown away. I was just like, keep in mind, he's dating the girl he chose over me. Do you know a week later he proposed to that girl? And I think the reason why he did that was because he had to rush to prove to me, "Oh, the woman I chose over you, chosen one, she's better than you." This is the sick things that chosen ones go through, guys. I'm telling you. And he rushed to marry that woman, to basically, I'm telling you, I know in my heart, that look when he said, "Ugh." A grown man rolling his eyes and squinching up his face. "But you didn't choose me, though. What the hell is your problem?" He married that girl. A year into his marriage, he ran back to me and said, "All right, you were right. You know, you're a better choice. I effed up. I want you back. I'm willing to divorce her to be with you." And I looked him in the face and I told him, "Nope, I'm good. I have no feelings for you. Stay with her, and I wish her the best." And I ended our friendship. And he's not happy in that marriage. So I'm letting you know, a lot of times, chosen ones, they didn't choose you because they didn't want to do the work on themselves. They didn't like the way you made them feel. They didn't like your high calling. This man told me to my face he knew I had a high calling on me. He can see the gifts. He knew who I was spiritually. And he told me, my wife does not have what you have spiritually. So he felt better with that woman than he did with me. So this is why, chosen ones, you don't get chosen a lot of the times by the people that you really want to be with, that you love. You don't feed their ego. They do not feel comfortable with you because of that. And that's fine, because you don't need no weak spiritual spirit in your life anyway. That's okay. Let them pick the weaker spirit to be with, because their energies match. Your energy doesn't match with them. But I hope, chosen ones, that, any of you who do want love, I hope you get it. But I don't want you to make romantic love your focus, because that's not what you came here on the planet to do. Okay? Stay focused on your spiritual assignments. Don't get caught up in this romanticized society that we live in. All right. If you need help on your spiritual journey, your chosen one journey, you can book a phone session with me. How to book? You email me and we chat through email. My email and how to book will be in my comment section. If you want me to continue to pump out my videos, my content, make sure you donate as well, and how to donate will be in my comment section and in the description bar. And peace and blessings, but don't obsess over romantic love, chosen one. Romantic love is not the highest love frequency on the planet. Okay, self-love is the highest frequency. God's love is the highest frequency, and the love between a parent and a child is much higher than romantic love. Take care, guys.